created a GitHub account. Perfect. Yeah. So now shell script. Yes, great. So yes, so shell script is nothing but the guys. So what we have learned. So anything like any the set of commands which we wanted to run on the command line. If you put all the commands together in any one of the shell script for any some sort of purpose, that will be that the only difference or the only difference that we can see between the commands all put together and the shell script is the interpreter line. The interpreter line means the first line in the shell script. So rest of the commands, rest of the lines would be the commands that we uh, yeah. Yeah. So what are these the commands? So these are all the commands that we individually perform on the screen. Like we can just on the command line. So if you whenever you try to put all these commands into a script and the first line you have to mention like which interpreter it's going to use the next set of lines like by which interpreter the operating system should use to perform the next set of lines in the script. So this is called a shebang or a hashbang. So you're going to specify the software shell software where it got installed. So yeah, and we created a Git account, correct? So today we will see with the examples like the version controlling how it will happen, what is a repository. So what did I tell you about repository guys? So repository is nothing but a project folder where your code resides or like the entire project code resides. So it's the project folder. So the moment you open the github.com like the you after you log in, you can just go ahead and create a new repository. So now a new repository means currently I am creating one uh, empty repository, like some empty project folder. So there I can write some of my scripts or like some of my code. So in order to build my application. Sorry, can we start or no? Yeah, you can start. So you can start along with me. So you can just open the GitHub and yeah, we're just starting the class. Am I audible clearly, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for confirming. Okay. Yeah, let's quickly give my this repository name. So my repository name is like I wanted to keep some code like my DevOps the repository name as a DevOps. So let's see. So I'm for now I'm making this as a public and private. So public repositories are nothing but so anyone on see as the description says like anyone on the internet can see the repository. So you can choose who can commit it. So yeah, they are committing like you can make yourself like the project team to make the collaborators on the code. But for now, so you are just creating an empty repository. So you can just go to the home page home page of the GitHub, and at the left top corner, there is a new button. So it will take you to create a new repository. So click on it. So it will ask you for a repository name. So give a repository name and public repository and a private repository. Public repository means, so let me give you one URL and you try to, you tell me like how many number of repositories which you can see. I will give you a URL so that it will list you the all the number of repositories. In the repository section, I could see there are 5 repositories. Let me share it with you and tell me how many repositories you are able to see. Yeah, can anyone please reply? Perfect, 4. But when you look on my screen, how many are there? 5. Because only the publicly visible repositories will be shown to the end user. So privately visible repositories will not be shared even if I share the link outside, or like will access anywhere outside from this my logged in logged account. So when I let me show that. So if suppose let's see I'm going to create this as my public repository now, and so that you can, let's say DevOps, or like this one I'll keep it DevOps as it is, and the private one I will change the name. So just for the purpose, like you wanted to see it. So public and a readme, like there's some initial file. So else we have to you can just create the empty repository with some empty file, like a small readme file, so that you can keep adding your stuff. And there is a git ignore. This we will learn as part of our this git course itself. So there is no license which is required, and there is a master branch which it is set as a default. So only the thing is like give a name, let it be public, add a readme file, and create a repository. So this will create a repository for us. And now check how many repositories you are able to see on the screen. Just reload the page where you are seeing, and how many repositories were you able to see it?
It's 5 now.
Great, because the public repository DevOps has been added newly. And now let's say uh, I'm going to create one private repository, and then just re-verify and tell me like how many repositories you are able to see. Just this quick exercise. Let us complete this one. And let's say DevOps private and some small empty file, then create DevOps private. So the repository is created. Now, how many repositories are you able to see it?
5.
Yes, it's still 5. Because what is the reason? I have created a repository called DevOps underscore private, but you are unable to view it. What is the reason? Since it is private. Perfect. So now let's quickly get into the repository that we have created. So we have created a project folder, something like this, correct? We created a project folder wherein our code exists. So this is some sample file with the name of the repository. So we can go ahead and modify this, or like see like now how many commits it is saying. One commit, because this is my initial commit. correct? So in order to see now, yeah, there is this particular pencil button. So you can take that to the, the edit mode, DevOps class, learning kit. So these are the two changes. Like I have made the DevOps as a class. This is my some README file. README file in the sense some text file. It is nowhere related to now repositories or branches, anything. It is just purely the file, which file system. So you can write any content inside this file. So DevOps class. So you just wrote some message. So initially, what is the commit which I told you? Like there is one commit and its name is initial commit. So you can name a commit message, like commit message in the sense you made few line changes or a few code changes, but you wanted to understand like by instead of going through the code, and so you wanted to give us some reasonable or a valid name to understand like what we have done in this particular commit. So commit is nothing but you are committing a set of additional changes. Additional change can be an addition of file or a removal of file or addition of a line or addition of a dot or anything. It can be anything. Some difference between its previous version. So at previous version, if suppose there is a DevOps and in the current version you are going to add a new word called class, and in a new line you are going to add a learning git. So you can add a commit message. Commit message is nothing but in order to just understand like so add additional line. It can be any message so that you can understand the change which you have made. Add additional change to readme. So I'm just committing my changes. So now you are able to see it. So actually I opened that file. So if I just go to my the original folder of my project folder, so you can see that file here. So readme.md, and the readme.md content you can see like DevOps class and learning git. Clear everyone? So now how many commits you were able to see on the repository on my this particular and two commits. And what are the two commits? One is the initial commit, as I showed you, like it just have the DevOps heading, and this is my new commit. Added an additional change. So now from this difference you can see like okay, there is in the previous version there was this line and it was replaced as DevOps class, and also have introduced a new line called learning git. Clear everyone? Master and main. Yeah, both are same. Master or main. So there is no difference. Branch name can be anything. I will tell you like how it differs, but the industry followed or most of the organizations followed stuffs are it can be master or it can be main, but both are same. So it is when yesterday I was telling right, so the golden branching. So we'll tell you that we'll walk you through that. Is this concept clear, guys? So you have created a repository, and when you create a repository, you added some file, and so there is an initial commit already the moment you add a readme.md. So to the initial commit, you are going to modify, saying like you want to add a new line to it and add a word class to it. So in order to do that, you went to that file and you clicked on the edit button and you wrote some of the code changes. Learning git from GitHub. So this is my third change. So my first initial commit had only DevOps, and in my second commit means my next version I have made the changes like class and learning it, and now I am doing the change like from GitHub. So just you can add some message like you are just updating readme.md, so you can just leave it as it is. So the commit message is helpful only to you, like how you wanted to see the change. Now you see how many message commits you are able to see on the screen. Three commits. Three commits in the sense. So what is the change that we have performed here? Like we have added this bolded green color background stuff, which is from GitHub. So earlier version of the line was with this particular set of words like learning it, and the new set of is new. My screen look different. Am I tripping? Mm, okay, can you quickly share your screen so that we can uh, fix if any issues, and then we'll, yeah, could you please quickly share your screen? Okay, yeah, this looks good. Mm, now, if for those like, are you able to follow this? Like, are you able to create, or like, are you able to understand the this change? Like, we created an empty repository, and then we added few changes. Is that clear? Okay.
So
Yes.
I joined the class late, so
Okay. I'll quickly rewind.
what
So,
are
did you created the GitHub account yesterday?
which one?
Have you the github.com? So you can go to github.com, GitHub.
Git. Oh, I haven't done this.
Yeah. Create a GitHub account. I'll ping you the link in the chat channel.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and sign up yourself. So it's like a simple sign up process. It will ask you for, the mail ID and the username which you want. And so once you are done with that,
GitHub. Okay.
yes, just tell me so that when I rewind, you can just learn like. So when we went
Uh,
on and we created a new repository.
Create new repository. Okay.
No, are you
And
doing with me or like?
I'm doing with you.
Okay, yeah. Create a new repository.
Mm-hmm.
No, is the account creation is completed?
No, it's not done yet.
Yeah, create an account so that it won't allow you to create a repository.
Repository name should be my name.
Yes, yeah, yeah, actually it's good. So you can go to the recording. So this will clearly
Oh,
tell you like how to create, and you can go to yesterday's recording also, like how you can create an account and all.
what should be the description?
Yeah, it can be anything. So you go with the recording. So it won't take much of your time. So you can add
Add. What should I do after that?
for which one? Could you please share your screen?
Okay. I'll do.
Yeah, those who join late, right? So you need not worry anytime. So because there are others also, we need to respect their time.
Share the content. Okay. Screen. Okay. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, give some name and scroll down and check that button, add a readme file,
In the file.
and
Okay.
click on create.
Click on create repository. Okay.
Yep, it's done.
Oh, is it done? Oh,
Yeah.
and then
So yeah, so we can resume this. So now let's say, yeah, that's fine. So now let's say you have created this particular file, and I'm telling, there is something called this. We are just looking at this on like branches. So branches is nothing but, so we created an empty repository. We are doing some changes. That looks good. But let's say this readme.md is my production code, and I'm just trying to do some change over here, saying like instead of DevOps class, or like the instead of the learning, so I just made like ng, which is like some spelling mistake. So spelling mistakes in the code definitely gonna cause some error. Like here, since this is some text file, obviously it's not gonna impact anything. So it's just going to show me the message like this one. So if suppose let's say this is some UI screen of any one of the application, or this is the some UI screen of any one of the banking application, instead of showing you some account information, or like instead of showing you some valid message, if it is going to display some errored message, it's gonna trouble, correct? So how can you make sure that this kind of errors will not happen? So in order to do that, there is a concept called branching, and you need not work on the golden source of the branch. So you can just go to the respective branch and type in the branch name you want. So the branch name is like um, modify readme. So and you can click on create branch modify readme from master. Are you able to see my screen? So it is telling you the moment you type in some branch name, these all we are doing from remote repository, guys. Will tell you like what is remote repository and what is local repository. So from remote repository, whenever you do, it would be easy to understand. So then you can perform the command way from the command line. So you can click on create branch, modify readme from master. So it will create you a branch. So now how many branches are there? Two branches are there. So master and modify readme. So let's say my master code is the production code. So I unknowingly just pushed a change which have a spelling mistake. That is going to cause a problem. So in that case, what you need to do, you shouldn't push anything to the master branch or a main branch or a default branch. So we'll see like what is default branch and how we can protect this master after looking like, let us say we wanted to correct this word learning from to the original spelling. Let's say you can go to the file and click edit and perform your change. So now you can say the commit message is corrected spelling of learning. So just some valid message so that I can view it. So I committed it. So now you can go to my branch. See it says it had some commits actually. And also it is telling this branch is one commit ahead of master because it have a new change. It have 5 commits. What is the latest commit with a correct spelling. Does this change there on the master? Is this change available on the master branch? Because master we haven't modified. Master is kept like a golden source and we haven't even touched the master. So whenever I say created a branch, it is like a copy of master branch. Are you able to follow this? So let's say the moment I created, I just typed in some branch name saying like, modify, and it says like create branch modify from master. It's going to create me a branch from master, like, it's going to make a copy of it. So I created modify readme the same way. If you look at the master, there is this file content and there are 4 commits also, correct? And if I go to the branch which I created now, which is modify readme, actually I made only one commit on my modify readme, which is corrected spelling of learning. But if you go to the commit history, it says, there are 5 commits. I haven't made these commits on this particular branch, right? How come these are made available to this branch? Are you following me, guys? I just created a branch called modify underscore readme and made one commit. But when I look at the commit history, I'm seeing the other commits also. How come these commits have visible inside this particular copied from master when creating? Excellent. Yeah. So whenever you create the branch, the all the commit history, like who created it, when they created it, and what they have made the change, everything. So whenever you create a branch from one branch to the another branch, it can be from master or it can be from modify readme. So let's say my master have only 4 commits and my modify readme had only 5 commits. Now let's try to create a branch from modify readme instead of master. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a branch from modify readme, not from master. So you can just type in order to do that from the UI, you can just select that respective branch and type in the branch name you want. So let's say, yes, can we make a branch from other than master? Yes, we can. That's what we are going to do now. So modify underscore readme, you can select and type in the branch name. What is the branch name? Can anyone give some valid name in the chat channel so that we can use the same name? Yes. So whenever we create a branch from master, it takes all the data, commit data and everything. Yes. Dev. Let's say session 7. Yes. Session 7 is valid. Let's go with session 7 for now. Just so what it is saying, create branch session 7 from modify underscore readme. So now you created it. So what would be the commits on the session 7? All the commits which are present inside my readme.md. So session 7 branch is going to have 5 commits. Why? Because it got created from the modify underscore readme branch. Clear, guys? So what is a commit? Commit is nothing but a set of your changes. So any set of your changes you made to the repository and you committed, and it's gonna create. So we're gonna specify some valid message and save those changes to the repository, to the respective branch. Perfect. So I was telling you, so if suppose anyone wants to directly push to the master, it's gonna corrupt us. It's gonna corrupt, right? So I told you like master or main or anything like a default branch. So you see, when I just click on the button, it is saying right side default. So most of the times all the default branches are very much restricted, so that you cannot push or you cannot modify the content, because modification of any content to this repository is going to make a production deployment, or it's going to make the working code tricky to understand. So now let's say you wanted to make sure that even the push should not happen onto master unless we raise a PR. So you can just protect them, like you can go to the settings. This is like of the now, like you can go to the branches and see there is master. So no, sorry, not renaming it. So you can add a rule, protection rule. So you can just leave this part, guys. So because we are going to learn this again just for the purpose of like to protect the default branch. I am just walking you through this one. So here you can say do not allow direct pushes actually. Mm, yes. So require a pull request. Oh, got it. No, no, not this. Actually, you as a collaborator, right? So the people who have the access to the respective repository, so you can go to the collaborators, and the people with the admin access can do the modification anytime. Actually, master branch is by default protected. Sorry, my bad. So actually, master branch is protected by default, so that since I am the collaborator for this particular repository, I can do the like an administrator like to this repository I can modify on the master. So if you want to try from the local, it won't happen because by default it will change on no. If you change something on master, will it change that on the all branches? Good question. Let's try to do that. So I'm going to add a new file, like okay, that addition. Yeah, let's add a new file, create a new file. My file one, let's say hello world. Yeah, that we will do later. So yeah, let's go one by one. So let's say master, you are updating some content. So you are creating a file one. Let's commit this to the master. And in your master, there is a file called file one. But let's check the other branch. Is it there? No. Why? Let me tell you. No, 1 second. Yeah. Let's say master branch have commit one, commit two, commit 3, and when master is at this particular commit, when master is at this particular commit, so I created a branch called the, what is that one? Hmm, I created a branch called modify readme. So this particular branch is going to have all this commit, correct? Because it will copy them to the respective branch also. And let's say I have made another commit after I created this particular branch. Observe the point after I created this particular branch. So commit 4. So until unless you update this particular branch with master, it won't copy this commit 4 to here. So let's say this have commit 5, and whenever you do the update, because this particular branch was created when the commit was at this particular level, which is commit 2. So if you wanted to bring this commit 4 or any additional changes to the master, you explicitly have to make a call to, like, runs a command to bring it to the respective branch, which is called pull. So you have to run a pull command to bring the content of master and update your respective branch, whichever you want. Is that clear? And now let's say you created a new branch, session 7, and that also have the, so are you able to follow, guys? So master had, we made some different commits on master and we made different commits on modify readme. So now how can I make them sync? Like, I wanted to make sure that modify underscore readme should have the changes required for, sorry, should have the latest commit, like corrected spelling. So now you can make sure by merging, like modify readme to master. So in order to do that, there is this pull request. So what I am telling you, if you wanted to update this commit 4 into your current branch, you have to do the pull trick. You have to do a pull, correct? So the same way, if you wanted to make this commit 5 available onto the master, so again you have to take a pull from the this particular branch. So to do that, you can create a pull request. So new pull request from, so master will be pulled with which code? Modify readme, correct? So one second, guys. So you can just click on create pull request and create pull request. So give me 1 minute. Yeah. So now you created a pull request. What does this pull request is for? You wanted to update, you wanted to copy like what are the changes you have made from modify readme to master. Clear? So let's say you can just go to the, so let's say it we haven't even merged it. So you can just validate like what is the change and like pull request. So you can go to the respective pull request and see whether the change is valid or not. So you can click on files changed. Okay, so there is a spelling which is corrected. So and then so that you can If suppose you are a reviewer, you can approve this one, else you can just go and merge pull request, confirm the merge. See now, let's see on the master whether that commit came or not. So you see the readme is with corrected spelling of learning. So you can just click on the commit history and that is being merged. How come that is being merged? Using a merge commit or pull request. Are you able to follow guys? Can you go one step back? Is it to create a pull request? Okay, now let's say there is a difference. Like, there is a file one in my master and there is this. Do we have this file one in my session 7 branch? No. How can I make it available? Same pull, right? So let's say, observe here guys. So there is a change in my master, okay, like a new file. I wanted to make sure that this is being copied or like this is being updated in my session 7 branch also. How can I make sure that how can I make it possible? How can I update this particular branch with master? Yeah, ping me in the chat channel. What should I do? Yeah, let me tell you. I have a branch called master and there are 7 commits and a new file called file1 and there is a session 7 branch which have only 5 commits, which is like this. So my master have some sort of commits which doesn't exist on my session 7 branch. So what should I do to make them like available in my, to bring them to the session 7? Pull, perfect. So what is it? Need to pull and match. Yes. Go to the pull request, click on new pull request, and where are you pulling? I'm pulling to my session 7. From where? From master. So what are the two, what are the changes it's going to tell me? A new file which got created, file 1 and the hello world. So you can create a pull request and you can see the difference like what are being, what is this? Create a new pull request. Yeah. Update session 7 branch with master. So create a pull request. So I'm gonna click on file change. So I will verify that okay there is a new file and so that I can merge them. Confirm the merge. So now you can see the changes in the session 7 branch also. So the moment you click session 7, it also have the merge commit. So all the commits are from, so it have the file 1. Clear guys? Are you able to follow like what we can do on the Git? You can create an empty, you can start from creating a project repository and start doing the changes. So instead of protecting the master branch, what we are doing, we are creating a replica of master. Like we can create a branch from one branch, which is means you can create one branch from another branch. So you can create a, you have created a branch called modify underscore readme from master. So I'm just repeating guys. So it just created a branch called modify underscore readme from master and session 7 from modify readme. So it is possible that you can create a branch from any branch. It need not be default branch. Second, and what does this commit mean? Commit means any changes you made, whether it is an addition of a file or removal of a content or anything which you do on the respective branch, it's you can make uh, you can call it as a commit as a set of changes you made to the respective version of the code. Like say in the version 1, let's say there is a version 1, you made many changes. Like let's say version has only one file. Version 1 has one file with 10 lines, and you have created this version. You have created in the sense you have made some set of changes. So what are the changes you have made? Added 10 files and deleted 5 lines from first one, file 1. So even all this together, like any set of changes which are differing from its previous version, is called as commit. So any version change from its previous version, you can call it as commit and you can commit them. So that single commit can hold a number of stuff like any addition or a deletion or anything. So if you wanted to update one branch from another branch, what you need to do, you have to use the pull request. You have to pull the content from other branch to the source branch. Getting? So pull will work like, let's say here I have a question. I want to update branch 1 from branch 2. What would be the process? Pull which branch to which branch? What would be my, no, yeah, what pull from which branch to which branch? The pull request, like let's say pull request should be raised from which branch to which branch? Can anyone tell me this? Let's say I wanted to update my branch 1 with branch 2. So there are some commits in my branch 2. I wanted to update them into my branch 1. Same like I had some commits in my master. I wanted to update in my session 7. So what should I do? How I should raise the pull request? So when I raise a pull request, from which branch to which branch it should be? Base branch 1 compared to base branch 2. Perfect. So you create pull request as a base is branch 1 and this has to be pulled with the changes from destination branch. We can call it as branch 2. Clear guys? Yes, pull request from branch 2 to branch 1. No, from should be branch 1 because you have to stay in that particular branch and pull the content from the respective destination wherever you are. So from should be Yeah, the meaning from would tell you like, uh, if it is like, if we translate this is good only, but I mean to say like you have to stay at branch one. So you have to be stick to the branch one and pull, like, I am pulling from wherever, like whether it is branch two or a master. So the destination is going to vary. So the base would be the place where we wanted to update the content. So in this example, base would be session 7 and the destination would be master. So don't get confused guys. So these are like, the very day-to-day activities and like, rigorously which each user has to do it. So if you don't understand, please go through the recording again. So, what have we discussed in today's class? We created a repo and there are public repo and a private repo. Public repo can be accessed to anyone who have the link to it, or like, when if it is an organization, so anyone who are organization to the internal, so they can access it. And private is visible to the user only who they have created it. And you have made some commits. Commits means some version changes. Version changes means some file change. It can be any addition of a word or it can be addition of a line. So you made few commits to the master, but instead of committing to the direct golden source branch, which is master, so you created a branches from the master. Whenever you create a branch from master, it's gonna create the entire replica of master, including the commits. So you can create any branch from the any branch. So that's why Git is called a distributed.
그래, que se me va a conducta. Sí, el baño todo lo que puedes.
So that's why Git is called distributed, because you can create any branch from any branch and you can track the changes from any branch also. There is no centralized branch like, this is centralized or that is centralized. So every branch is like centralized and will have all the commit histories. So you can make the changes to a respective branch. The moment you are done with the changes to the respective branch or any branch which you want, you can raise a pull request, or you can pull that particular branch into the branch you want. Let's say you have changed in today's class we have modified some content in our modify underscore readme. So the modify underscore readme we have merged to the we have pulled into the master, and after pulling the content into the master, we wanted to update the session 7 branch also. So that what we did, we pulled uh, we, we pulled master into session 7. Clear guys? Any questions? So what is this? Where is match? Yeah. Click on conversation. Click on the conversation and scroll to the bottom. When you are viewing files changed, there won't be that option. So you can click on the conversation and you could see the merge button. Did you got Kemsha? Thanks. Okay. So any more questions, guys? Yeah. So today, whatever we have done from the UI, we will try to learn the commands from GitHub, Git terminal, like how we can do the stuff and what is the local repository and what is the remote repository. So clear everyone? So that's it for today guys. So we'll meet in tomorrow class.